Hey moms, welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking with Dr. Kat, and she is giving us the Quaran-Tea.
Yeah, so today, Kat is what she said, Dr. Mom, which I like. I've never heard that before. She is a mother of three and has a business with her husband that they both run together. And yeah, so she's going to talk to us about what life has been like for her as a mom, a human being, and a business owner.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm not usually on this side of the interview. I'm used to interviewing people in the community. So I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, just like you said, I call myself Dr. Mama. My husband and I own Wilson Family Chiropractic in Dunwoody. We've been there 10 years. And we haven't killed each other yet, so that's cool. No, right? And together we have three kids. So our oldest is 12, our middle is 7, and our youngest is 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a little bit busy, just a little bit.
Just a little bit busy.
Yeah.
Well, you do own your own business.
Yeah.
And so how is that going? Like, how is everything affecting your business and the workflow? And I know some of these answers because I do some admin work for them on Saturdays and sometimes during the week. But please tell us
so much.
Thank you. But how is it really affecting the business?
Yeah. It's been hard. It's been real honest. It's been really hard. We went into panic mode at first because we weren't sure if we were going to be deemed essential. And there was a lot of conversation through the different boards throughout the country. And some boards were going to consider themselves non-essential and shut the businesses down. So we were kind of going into defense mode. Okay, what are we going to do if we have to shut our business down for 2 weeks or more? So we were kind of planning that. But at the same time, we had to plan for, okay, if we are open, what are we going to do to protect our patients that still want to come in? And so it was like go mode, like the minute it started. So I think it was Friday the 13th, right? When we found out our kids weren't going to be in school. And that was really like the moment where oh crap, we got to get our poop in a group and figure out what we're doing. So we sat down and it just made sense for me to pull myself out of practice, which sucked. It was really, really emotionally hard because I love what I do. But we knew that Jake knows more about the business aspect of the office. So because it's tax season, taxes and licensure. So it made more sense for him to stay into practice and for me to pull myself out and to be at home with the kids and be their teacher. So he immediately went to go mode to figure out, okay, what are we going to do to keep the office safe? Which was so difficult because it was like, okay, you're essential, but we're going to not really give you very specific guidelines of what you need to do to protect people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like what they're doing now, like with masks or for people that are opening, it's like, there's not enough guidelines. There's not enough laid out. It's like, keep people 6 feet apart. You're like, oh, that's helpful. So Jake started doing research. He started doing webinars. He was up till 3, 4 in the morning, getting information, getting UV sterilizers, getting the EPA cleaners. So that was stressful, because he's trying to work, see the patients that are still coming in, do all the other stuff, like the business stuff, but then also bring in all the sanitation stuff. So it was really stressful. We saw a decline in patients, for sure new patients. I mean, I shouldn't say pretty significant decline.
Angel became a new patient.
What's that? I know. So awesome. I would say, we continue to see new patients, but not, of course, at the level that we typically saw them.
Right.
But people were still coming in. And I think what made the difference is that we were just kept communicating with people what we're doing. And I think that makes a big difference. but we saw a drop. I think we're back up to probably 75% of where we were before COVID, which is really awesome.
That's good. Yeah.
So that's really exciting. We feel really encouraged. Saturday morning was our busiest morning we've had since COVID started in March. So that was huge. That was a big celebration for us because it shows that I think this is the trend to where more people are going to be getting back into taking care of their health and seeking chiropractic care, which is awesome.
Yeah. And even though it was busier, like we still were doing the exact same things, like making sure that everything was taken care of between each patient, and we take temperatures and they have to fill a survey out and
sit in their car, do the waiting room thing.
Waiting room in our cars.
So typically what we would see, like the amount of people that we saw, we could have seen in 2 hours, which is technically we're open 9 to 11.
Right.
But because of the circumstances being that we, again, 10 people do all the things. I mean, we were there till, I think I saw the last patient by 11:45.
Yes.
Because it takes time. Yeah, I mean, it takes time. And you want the spray to sit. You need to let it dry a little bit. So I think that's affected it too. Like the pace is different, but it's been a challenge. But Jake and I dug our feet in and we said, this is not going to take us down. Right. We've busted our butts for 10 years plus, right? Not including our degree. We've sacrificed so much from our kids, from our family. This is not taking us down. We will do whatever it takes to keep our doors open.
Yep.
And it's still kind of like that. I mean, we're still kind of have a push in ways that we haven't pushed in a long time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of that, how are you doing with staying home with the kids and not being able to go into the office?
Yes, that is a very interesting question. You can see I didn't ever even got my hair done today. So thumbs up. Like I think I woke out of bed and this is how my hair has looked ever since. It's so crazy because I think we have really great days and we have really crappy days. Today was a really crappy day. I'm just going to note that having PMS in quarantine is horrible. That part of being a woman is just miserable because we're already having more anxiety and fear,
everything is heightened.
And so it just takes your emotions and takes it to a whole new place. So, not good. The school aspect was okay. So we chose to homeschool a while back for our oldest.
Okay.
So that academic part, I didn't mind too much. I kind of secretly like it. I kind of geek out over papers and scissors and gluing and little stuff like that. Yeah. I think the biggest challenge was my children are such different ages. So we've got 12, so middle school, which is very demanding. He's going into 8th grade. First grade, which is, she's got classwork, but it's not too much. But then a 4-year-old. And so trying to make sure that I'm catering to all of their needs. And so often their needs came together at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming. And it's trying to navigate who gets mom's attention first. Mm-hmm. I think we did pretty good. It took until week 4 or 5 that we realized our technology was the pits. My son has a new iPad. My daughter had an iPad mini that we've had for 7 years. And then our youngest didn't have anything. And she couldn't get into her information from the iPad mini. And then James didn't have a keyboard, so he couldn't type. And I'm trying to get work done on my computer. And so I called Jake in tears and I was like, you're going to come home and I'm going to have divorce papers. We need technology in this house. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to lose my mind. And so he called me an hour later. He's like, an iPad will be at the house on Friday. And that was Wednesday. So I was like, thank God. And since then it's been a lot easier. Alexandra can log in, do her own work. William got her iPad. So he has Zoom on it because his class has got Zoom calls every day, which is super cute. And when we got James a Bluetooth keyboard. So it was really just knowing what we needed and just doing it. Just saying, okay. And then rearranging the schedule. I was trying to be really cutesy and get us all to sit at the dining room table to do work. And it was such a bunch of bullcrap. I'm this is not being cute and getting it all done. I'm we're in survival mode. We got to survive and not kill each other.
Yeah.
So while the oldest had the more important stuff to do, I would take the little one into the living room and do little math projects with him. And then I was trying to get really important work done while they were doing schoolwork, asking me for stuff. And I would get really pissed. I'd be like, I have work to do. And I would feel bad, right? Because I knew Jake would be coming home and I would want to like make sure I got it all done, like holding up my end of this partnership.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. So I got everyone headsets, which is brilliant. And they have lunch for half an hour and then quiet time. So that's like a solid hour of no talking in the house because I will take a picture like at lunch, they each have an iPad and like a headset on and they're watching 3 different shows. I don't care. I'm like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do right now. Another room. And then I have like a full, and then they all go and do something quiet in their room for half an hour. And that gives me a good hour. And it's amazing what you can get done in an hour when you're not interrupted.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw something, it was a post the other day on Facebook about Cindy was talking to her friend and she's like, the only time I get is when they have TV time. And she was like, what do you mean TV time? Like all day is TV time right now if you need it to be. Like right now it doesn't, those pictures on Instagram are cute of like the little classrooms that are put together, but I'm not sure that's realistic for very many people.
It's not. And like, we can't hold ourselves to a standard that's going to break us eventually because we have to be a human that steps out of this at the end, right? Like at some point things are going to change. Like we'll have a new normal, but we are coming out of this. And it's like, we have to choose the kind of woman and wife and mom that we want to be. Yeah. And I don't want to be broken and bitter and pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like there's some days like today, like we really didn't do much. Like we didn't even go outside. I know it was nice out, but I'm like, I don't feel like going out.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I mean, some days it's like that.
Yeah. And then some days you win. Some days you feel like you got everything done. You crossed all your T's, you dotted all your I's, and things feel good.
Yeah.
We don't have a handbook on, a pandemic.
We do not.
We have no idea how to do this.
No.
Yeah, and it varies so much from household to household, person to person, kid to kid. It's like, even if we did, it wouldn't work for everybody. It'd be a nightmare to try to make it work for everybody.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree.
So on the emotional side of like, how is that for your kids? Especially because they're such different ages. Like, I'm sure James is aware of what's going on. But what about the other ones? Like,
absolutely.
How is that?
They're all aware. Like they all know. They just know to their own little hearts, what their spirits were capable of knowing. And so my 4-year-old, he, we pray every night before dinner. And so he always asks God to like end the corona. He's like, let no one get the coronavirus, take the coronavirus away. He doesn't understand what it means. Yeah. He seems to be a little more aggressive than normal. So he will, and it's solely to get attention. I mean, that's the only reason why is that like, if people are not paying attention to him, he has to like use his physical body to be like, hey, I'm here, pay attention. Our daughter is a lot more emotional. So she's emotional anyway. She's the only girl. She's in the middle of 2 boys. So she tends to use emotion. So she's just feeling a lot more. She's just feeling, she misses her friends. She loves school. She loves riding the bus. So just trying to cater to her big needs. And then James, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. We can have some really good, organic, authentic conversations. Like kind of where are you at in your head? How are you feeling? Like, what do you want to talk about? Jake took him to the store the other day for the first time because he's like, I want to see what the world looks like. Like, I want to see what the world looks like in a pandemic. And so Jake took him. He's like, all right, let's go to Publix. Let's go get some stuff. And I was like, what'd you think? And he was like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He's like, it was a little weird, he's like, but it's okay. It's okay. He did, I think that the toughest thing for him was his dojo. So he's in martial arts and mixed martial arts. His dojo opened up last week for private lessons. So they just brought in 1 student and then 1 instructor in the facility, which is really cool. And that's the very first time he had been out other than like drives around, the neighborhood and stuff. And he said he liked it. And then that night he crawled into bed with me and he's like, Mom, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like we always snuggle and talk. And he said, I feel weird. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? And he's like, I feel weird that I went to the dojo. And I said, what do you mean you feel weird? And he said, I feel like I did something wrong. And I was like, oh, buddy. I said, I know. I said, I think we all feel a little bit of that when we have
Yeah.
something. Like, I went to Target the other day and I like kind of like strayed from getting groceries to like browse a little. I'm like, no, I shouldn't be browsing. Like, I should just get what I need and like get out of here. And so there's that, like, part of you, it feels like you can't really resume normal stuff. So I felt bad, but we had a good talk about it. And I said, everyone's feeling this way. You know, it's okay. So they're definitely feeling it. They're definitely feeling it, but we're just trying really hard to keep dialogue open and not hide stuff. Just be truthful.
Yeah. Ollie started showing aggression today. Actually, this is the first day that I've had like this with him. And of course, he turns 2 in a couple weeks, but he is used to mom time, a couple hours, a day during the week, because I work full time, and then weekend time is like our time.
Yeah.
And he has been with mostly me, since this started. It's been over a month since I've been home. And he today, like out of nowhere, like just started throwing stuff very like forcefully, not like in a playful manner. And I'm trying to, turn his attention here, or distract or discourage it, or talk about, we don't do that. We throw balls. We don't, whatever. I'm doing all the things that I would normally do in this situation. And I picked him up at one point because he needed to have a diaper changed, and he smacked me in the face. And my heart, like, I was not ready. Like, I was not ready at all. And in the moment, like, you're trying to like be a parent, but like the person that you've given all of these things to just like broke your heart into many pieces. So it was like, we had such a hard part of the middle part of the day. And I think some of it is just, he's pushing boundaries. He's getting older. I realize that. But I do think some of it is he is tired of seeing just me and being in this house. Oh, yeah. So, tomorrow, I think the weather's supposed to be fine. I'll have to make an effort to actually, like, we were going on walks and we were going outside, and we haven't really done that anything in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And I think that probably was helping. And then, and then of course, like after his nap, he did some of the throwing a little bit again, but then we were able to kind of refocus on other things, and he was great. Like, we had a great rest of the evening together, but it's like, it's hard because like, I don't really know how to handle those things, because in addition to dealing with emotions that children are feeling, like we have all of our own stuff that we're feeling too. It's like, I don't really so much mind being at home, but like, I don't like how things are either. And it's hard to kind of cope with that. And on top of, kids, let alone like 3 with the different ages like that, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I tell Jake, like, I'm just taking it like not even one day at a time. It's like an hour at a time.
Yeah, minute by minute.
Let's get through this hour of schoolwork. Okay, let's get through this hour of quiet time. Mm-hmm. And then and I actually don't mind the schoolwork. I mean, school's ending soon, which is kind of nice, but it's almost good because it like gives them something to do.
Yeah.
It like kind of keeps them busy, But yeah, there are days where like my emotions and what I'm feeling just outweighs them. And I'm just like, Mommy can't. I just can't. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. They've seen me cry. Like, I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to go in the closet. Like, because I think, like, they need to see how we resolve stuff, right? Yeah. If we don't show frustration or anger or like sadness, how do they build? Who do they build this? How do they build their skills for those emotions when they don't see it?
Yeah. Right.
So, like, we've had some moments where, like, I'm like very anxious. I've lived with anxiety since I was 14, and I've managed it without medication. And the quarantine definitely raised my anxiety to a different level, which I haven't felt in a really long time.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to run away with it. The kids saw, and we had conversations, and I can only hope and pray that they'll see that and it will sit somewhere in their heart. And as they're an adult, like, they'll understand, and they'll be able to handle their emotions better. Because they're very like, it's not like this, it's like really like with the moment, your feelings like change so much. It's like, I love this. I don't want to leave my kids. And I'm like, oh, I freaking hate this. I just want to be back in the office. I miss patients. I miss being with Jake. We spent so much time together, So it's definitely a lot of ups and downs. There's no consistency with the emotions.
Yeah. And that actually already answers my next question that I had for you. But I mean, is there anything else that you just want to share with us about, like, what's going on, how things are going. Like, what are things you look forward to? I know going back to the office, which
Yeah.
you did get to do.
I do. I look forward.
One time.
I was really starting to embrace like taking care of me for the first time. So I've been a mom for 12 years, and I was just finally getting to a place where I was really starting to take care of like my like physical self and my mental health. I said like having anxiety for so many years, implementing some strategies to help with that anxiety, something called TRE, which is tension release exercises, and using that. So I haven't been able to do any of those sessions. I had started acupuncture and pelvic floor therapy and like really embracing doing things for me. And then that just like coming to a crash, like just a complete halt.
Yeah.
And so I think I've been down on myself, and then I'm a girly girl. I like getting my hair done. I get my nails done. It's like I have like this Cruella de Vil streak like coming in hot right here. But I just try to take it one day at a time. And I think I've learned over the weeks to control, if you will, what I can. Like, I can't control the media, so I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
I can't control the people and their posts on Facebook, so I politely snooze them for 30 days. Can't control my family that doesn't live here. I'm not talking to them. Like, it's not to be rude, but it's just I have to create a safe space in these walls, excuse me again, so that I emerge from this halfway put together still and not just completely broken apart. So I'm just choosing to control the certain things. So one of the things was food. Like we were supposed to start, so our family's Greek Orthodox, and our Lent is a little bit different than the other Lent. And so our Lent was just starting during quarantine, and we had talked about doing Whole30. And Jake's like, no, I really want to do it. And I'm like, but we're going to be in quarantine. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no alcohol. Like, what are you saying? But we did it. And I was like really proud of ourselves. We did it. We stuck to it and ate really healthy. And then I started forcing myself to get up early in the morning and to exercise. And I'm at that place where I'm actually like enjoying. I'm not an exercise person. And I know that's horrible. As a doctor, I should like love it, but I don't love exercise. I love like singing and dancing, but I don't love like working out.
Yeah.
I force myself enough that actually I want to do it because I think I'm starting to see the changes. So like controlling, like moving my body, what I'm eating, who I'm choosing to talk to. I really learned to just like create boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Because like so often I just want to like see it all and be a part of it all and hear it all. And times now I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm not going to respond to that person right now. Yeah. I need to like put myself first or my family first. When you have a business, there's like a lot, it intertwines a lot. You know what I mean? Like you get messages all hours of the night. Like we've got moms that are like in labor or people that hurt themselves. And so learning to say like, you know what, some calls some things need to be addressed immediately. And you could probably wait, like 3 or 4 hours you could wait. And so like really just creating boundaries, like a safe space for myself, if that makes sense.
I think it makes sense.
It does.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's weird because I think like, in the beginning I was like, oh, I love not having to go in the office for reasons I'm not going to put on the internet. And I loved it. And that part of it was good to me because I felt like I missed so much with Ollie. And then, so I went through this really high time. And then right about the same time that I did, Melinda and I both, we started to go down. Like both of us started to have this, like, just not where we were before with it. And then funny that you should mention like the things that you were doing for yourself. I have a work friend that messaged me today. We just periodically check in with each other. And I asked him how he was doing and he asked me how I was doing. And I said, I think I'm actually kind of starting to do things like for myself. Like I would have I think in just being honest, like if I had still been in work on a regular basis, I don't think I'd be coming in to try to get my back issues resolved with you guys. I don't think that I would be, getting myself the one item that people built like me need to be able to do exercise in an effective way. Like and then it's even little things like I decided to paint my nails the other day. My eyebrows got to where they scared even me. So I could be, and like even doing things like still interacting constantly with Melinda, and I've been doing more crafting stuff, as you can see behind me, and like focusing on things that like just make me happier. And it's weird because I really wasn't doing that before, and I found kind of like overall that helps with me and how I'm handling like the stress and anxiety in the situation, because every day that if I get an email or a call from my boss, I'm like, oh, today's the day they're going to let me go. Like I'm literally just expecting that because of everything that's going on, and they're, making cuts in our company and stuff. And it's like, they're stressed about that. They're stressed with just uncertainty of life. And it's really like taking care of me has really helped me, I think, be better at being a mom, being a partner, a wife, like being everything, because I'm just in a better place. And I don't think I thought that was going to happen a couple weeks ago when I was in that low point. So I'm glad that it got better, but it's hard.
I think I've heard that so much from myself, my friends, like our community. Like something happened a couple weeks ago and it was just like a deep plummet south. And I'm like, I don't know how we're pulling ourselves out of this. It was like the Titanic.
Yeah.
Fast.
Are you in that mom group, Mom's Making It group on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so it was that week that all the moms
it was the
were
same.
like, screw this week. What's wrong with this week? And
all of a sudden, it's like it hit everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. But then, like there's that slow chug uphill, like, okay, I kind of see the light. I kind of feel.
Yeah.
Some days feel normal. You know what I mean? Like there's some days where you're just like, this just feels screwed up and I hate it. And I just want to close my eyes and cover my ears and like shake in a closet and just like a little kid. Like I just want to wake up.
Yes.
But there's other days I'm like, I'm okay. Like, okay. All right, this is cool. Like I got my little tribe. I got my little people. We're good. We're doing okay. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
it was weird. I don't know why it was that same time frame for everybody, but it was rough. It was really rough not to give into those, I stopped doing things around the house, and like hygiene suffered, sleep suffered, mood. I mean, everything. It just was like all of a sudden it was hard to get back out of that.
And it wasn't even just like the moms here in Georgia. Like I have friends up in New York, and I have people in California, like people all over the place. And it was that week that everybody.
Yeah, no.
Didn't matter how long they had been affected by it. It was like that week. It was just like it's craziness.
Yeah.
But, oh man. Well, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Nice to talk to other mamas and have these real life conversations, like I think unfortunately, when you hold a certain position, I mean, I guess it can be like that in any work environment, but I feel like especially just being really authentic, in the position where we are spotlighted in our community, it is sometimes hard to let your guard down and to be really truthful about how you're feeling, because you don't want people to see that there's a side of you that maybe can't fight or that's struggling. But I think Jake and I have learned through this that's what allows you to actually connect with people.
Yeah.
When it's I'm a real person with real crap. Here it is.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. So these conversations, I love it. I really do.
I mean, and that's one of the things that we wanted to do with Momestly Me in general, is make a village where moms, women can feel safe to just share their crap. I mean,
to be a human being. Yeah.
Because we are human beings, and this is, and especially now, this is such a bizarre situation for everybody. And everybody's handling it different. And I've really enjoyed all of our conversations we've had. I think I've said that at the end of every video, but I truly mean it every time.
Well, we get something different from each person. I mean, whether it's, and we've also been able to talk to people who aren't moms. One wasn't it's just all very different perspectives. And and to your point, when you finally allow yourself to be at least vulnerable and enough to say this is hard and I'm really struggling with it. And then it allows you to connect better. It really does.
This is pretty cool.
It does.
Pretty cool. Yeah. That's just one of the silver linings through all of this,
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. And we, of course, are going to link Wilson Family Chiropractic in this video. They're on
Awesome.
Instagram, they're on Facebook. If you're in the northern Atlanta, or if you're just in the Atlanta area in general, we will definitely put the website in there. Go see them. They're amazing people. They are who I went to see after our car accident last year. So,
Yep. Awesome.
yep. So I'm going to link them. And definitely make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can see other great content like this. And follow us on social media at Momestly Me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And I think that's it tonight. Thank you again.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks,
I
It's
appreciate
been
it.
awesome.
You well.
All right. Bye, moms.